Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone rule, who have been the great example to his younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. And it's just a picture that's going around social media, but just something big going on in the uh uh in the world that's starting to come out more because this has been brought up before that the Earth, which is going into the Earth, will spin faster on July 9th, July 22nd, and August 5th. This happened last year, recently when it came out, and I remember doing a lesson on it, but it probably a year or two, maybe longer ago. Well, account that the Earth was a and they saying millisecond, but hey, the Lord is in control. The Lord can make it to well, you only got 20 hours in a day, you know, before the next day comes. The Lord can make it, which that millisecond still proves that scientists can look and clock that the Earth is spinning just a tad bit faster. It proves that the scriptures is true, man. You know, because the Lord said that He was gonna shorten the days, which we got those precepts. But I'm gonna just read this and say, well, I read it. It say the Earth will spin faster on July 9th, which that was I think the day before yesterday, July 22nd and August 5th. You know, and at the end of the day, these are the Lord words coming to pass because the Lord promised that He will shorten the days. You know, and we know time moving faster. You can feel it. Everybody say time moving fast, time flying, but time literally flying. A day ain't the same as it used to be. Don't feel like a day go by way faster than what it used to go by. Seem like you know, and people in the world even realize that. But let's get these few precepts because this ain't nothing long. Just some quick, proving that hey, the words of the Lord gonna stand. Like He said, my word shall stand. You know, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall stand. Which the earth abide forever. You know, but this age, this current uh, form of the earth is gonna pass away. A new heaven and a new earth is coming. You know, this the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell therein. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." And Esau Edom doing what he doing with these storms. He amping up his harp, his cloud seed, and his frequency, fucking with the frequencies and shit, making these storms stall and build and cause torrential rains and wind, and he cloud seeding, he fucking spraying shit all in the air, he putting shit in the food, he jabbing people, he doing this, he doing that, he stirring up war, you know? He doing all these things. Why? Because he know that he have but a short time. This nigga seeing that the earth's spinning faster than ever, and we tell him that the Lord gonna shorten the days. You think these elites don't listen to the prophets? You out your fucking mind. The Rothschilds, the Rockefeller, the international banking families, these prominent Edomite families who run the earth, they not listening at the Christians, pastor, and worried. No, they tuned in on what the prophets are saying. The true prophets at that. They ain't listening to the sellout groups. They ain't listening to the ones they even bought. They listening to the real men of the Lord. You think they ain't checking in? Got people watching us, watching every video we put up, you know? hearkening unto what we saying, or tuning in to what we saying, trying to upset prophecy, trying to figure out ways to get up out of the captivity that's gonna come upon them. They are, man. They watching this, man, and everybody watching the Hebrew Israelites, even though our views be low, but these people are watching this. Everybody coming up with the talking points that the scriptures revolve around, and that's ultimately the spirit of the Lord moving throughout the earth. It say, the devil is come down to you having great wrath because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And to prove that he have but a short time, the Lord is actually you got this nigga watching how fast the earth's spinning and can tell that it's spinning, even if it's just a millisecond. It don't fucking matter. It's spinning faster than what it normally spins. You know, and the Lord can speed it up to where you only got 20 hours. Like I said earlier, the Lord can speed it up to where it's 30 minutes faster. You know, a whole hour faster, and they had them clocking it. We got to go to 23 hour days. The Earth spinning faster, and they can't control how fast the Earth spins. So that's the Lord doing it. You know, this the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 21. It reads, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." So the Lord is going to shorten the days, and He is shortening the days for the elect's sake. So it should be a faith booster to see that the Lord spoke a word and it's coming to pass. And it's a booster for us because we see these different things happening throughout the earth, and we get boosted up in the spirit, like the Lord is moving on what He said. The Lord said these things, and He doing these things. That's why the scriptures speak about blessed he who keep the word of my patience. You know, hey man, the Lord doing this thing. you know. And the average people of the world, they see these things happening, but they don't understand why they happen. They can't put they can't put they wrap their mind around why these different things are happening. But we through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are telling our people, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, why these things are happening, which are the true Hebrew Israelites. We telling you why America doing what it's doing between uh 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 Israel and Iran, and why they doing this, and why they fucking with the food, why they doing what they doing. Why? Because ultimately the earth is ran by the wicked, which are the Edomites. And these people are the Edomites, and this is their kingdom. And their kingdom getting ready to go down. So that's why it's happening. And you are the Israelites and you need to repent, you know? Because the time is getting close. The Lord is getting ready to come and deliver his people. But he ain't delivering our Israel like he did during the time of ancient Egypt. He only delivering those who repent and turn back to him. Only the elect. Everybody else gonna be fucked. Everybody else gonna be destroyed. Everybody else gonna be taken in great number. And those are the heathen that make it. You going into captivity. You know. Everybody in America gonna die, man. If you on the shores of America when this go down, you gonna die. And what's gonna finish finish you up is the nukes. The nukes is the it's gonna be the cleanup crew to wipe everything off in America. What Jacob Trouble don't, which the nukes is part of Jacob Trouble, but I mean like the wars in the streets and famine and pestilence. don't destroy them nukes, gonna come and destroy everything else. All the people wandering around with the chips in the bunkers or in these different little green zones, you know, these little safe zones with the chip in them. They gonna get hit with thermonuclear destruction, man. And that's that time of great tribulation that the world has not seen. We finna enter into a time that's gonna be, it's gonna surpass slavery, man. 70 AD, post slavery, the different atrocities that was spoken of in the scriptures. Esau finna get real diabolical because this is last hurrah. So it's a high time to repent and wake up out of sleep because our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Lord shorten the time, you know, and He getting ready to uh, uh bring the kingdom. He getting ready to deliver us out of hell. He getting ready to establish righteousness in the earth, and we ushering that in through the preaching of the Lord word. You know, we ain't doing our own thing. This is not of us. You know, this First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 29, it reads, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. Because hey, the time is short. You know, this thing almost over with. You look up, it's the next week. You look down and look up. You gotta go to work. Day go by so goddamn fast. You barely got time to do anything. You know, you feel like you can't get enough rest. Just overwhelmed. But you gotta all we can do is continue to fight, man. Continue to push. Continue to teach because eventually this ain't forever. This just we just occupy until the Lord come. So we do the work as a by time ultimately, waiting on the Lord. You know, building ourselves up, building our character. You know, preparing ourselves for what's getting ready to come. That's what we use this word for. And also we trust and believe in the word, but we use this word to get us through the time we living in. This word is what's gonna get us through the hell that's gonna come upon the earth. So we need to be well rooted in what we preach and teach, what we believe in. You know, it say the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, because when you're dealing with women, women require your time and energy. So seeing that the days are short, this it's at hand. Or if you have a wife, it should be as you don't have one, because you ain't gonna have the time to be all in goddamn France and just traveling the world with her and spending all this family time and trying to be the perfect husband and all that old crazy shit, the perfect family guy. We ain't got time for that. And you women that are in the truth, that in the know, that believe in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you should understand. But these women in the world, they might not understand why you don't want to go to the cookout. Why you don't want to go to the family reunion. They ain't gonna understand why you avoiding a lot of these different things. You might catch something here and there, but you're gonna be trying. They ain't gonna understand why you don't want to go to Six Flag and Disney World and be doing all this old extra um curricular shit, extracurricular shit. Females ain't the women of the world ain't gonna understand that. You know, and possibly they gonna leave. Maybe not, but we know what the scriptures say. If she be pleased to dwell with you, cut her not off. So if a woman willing to put up with us being in the truth, then hey, it is what it is. But hey, we know the time's short. They don't understand it. The Lord then impart the woman wisdom to understand what we involved in, understand what we're a part of, understand why we moving like we moving in the time we in, because the day is short and our hair getting ready to break loose. And when these women see what the Lord finna do unto the earth, they gonna wish they would have stayed. They gonna wish that, and the ones who with the men of the Lord, they gonna be thankful. They gonna be thankful that they husbands, was locked into Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You women gonna be thankful that you held it down. You women that did, and the women that the Lord had mercy on, you gonna be thankful that the Lord had mercy on you, and you gonna be the most humblest. You gonna be the most humblest motherfucker on God's green earth. You know, for our women. You know, out there, because it's gonna be bad. Gonna be a time like no other. You know, death gonna be all around. You're gonna see people putting people to death. Little kids getting put to death. You know, babies, old folks. You know, maybe even family members. People gonna lose their fucking shit. People getting ready to lose their goddamn mind out here. You know, and like I say, when these women, the Lord, who the Lord have mercy on, see these things, especially the women who with the men of the Lord, they gonna be thankful. They gonna be thankful that they husbands locked in and did what they did. They gonna be thankful that the Lord. I mean, they gonna be thankful that they husbands wasn't spending all that time stuck up their ass and worried about bullshit, because the Lord gonna show that favor on the men of the Lord. And we gonna be able to say, see, this why we was locked in. This why we was doing the work. This why, because of this, you know, this was coming. We was telling y'all that this what the Lord finna do unto the earth. We were preparing ourselves for the battle, man. Here it is, we at war. When you at war, you ain't got time to be worried about all the extra bullshit. Which we in the world, so we gotta handle our business in the world. You gotta pay your bills. We got a lot of shit we gotta handle in the world. But our main focus is the word. So the little time we do have leisure is we gotta focus on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And you may have slight windows where you can let your hair down, like the brother uh Ayash be saying. Might have your slight window where you can let your hair down a little bit and and kick it. But for the most part, you ain't got that kind of time. You don't even want to invest your mind into that like that all the time. Because shit, we know what's coming. Fuck this place, man. you know? You don't want no attachments to this shit. You know? These people trying to have fun. These people want to live it up, live their life here. But this shit is all finna be destroyed. But that's all on it. I ranted enough about it. Um, let's get this. This Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 8. It reads, "Sake time short. Remember the covenant and let them declare thy wondrous works." And we begging and praying to the Lord that He shake the time short. For our behalf, make this shit, this time short. You know, speed these things up, Lord. You know, hastening it in the coming of the day of our power, man. When you praying, we begging the Lord, destroy this place. Gather your elect and bring this place down. Make Esau go with his move, chanting this bitch down, and that's why we go out week in and week out, and we prophesy the downfall of this place, just like during the time of Jericho when they marched around Jericho chanting. That's what we doing in America. We, you know, through our prospective cities, brothers scattered all over the place for a reason, because the Lord got that vibration going, that righteous vibration going, that, and we chanting Babylon down, we chanting Esau down, so called white man, we chanting all the heathens down, letting them know that it's a new, it's gonna be a changing of the guard, so to speak. A new ruler is coming, you know, which is Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh rule anyway. But Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back and reign literally in the earth, you know, and they finna have to move out the way, you know. It's finna be a new way in the earth, and we ushering that in. We letting you know what it's gonna be, you know. It's gonna be Yahweh, uh, gonna send his only begotten son, and he gonna reign in righteousness. Ain't gonna be no all this old other extra bullshit where wickedness is allowed. Nah, you ain't gonna be able to be wicked in the kingdom of heaven, or you gonna get put to death, man. You know? And us Israelites, we gonna be perfect. So we ain't gonna be worried about that. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing. But the Lord is taking the time short. And he gonna remember his covenant. To who? Who the Lord made a covenant with? Not every goddamn body he made a covenant with. The Israelites, his people. He never said he made a covenant with the heathen. He never said he made a agreement with them. He made a covenant with the Israelites at Mount Sinai, you know, and he made a covenant, a new covenant. You know, the Lord brought unto us a new covenant, you know. And what blood, what was required of the new covenant? Yahweh Shai blood, you know, because a covenant ain't nothing without that blood sacrifice. And Yahweh Shai was that lamb offered without spot or blemish, you know. So the Lord made us a new covenant, a better covenant, and we gonna be made perfect. And it say, let them declare thy wondrous works. And these nations gonna see the wondrous works of the Lord soon. You know, everybody, even you Israelites, you 2/3 Israelites, you finna see the wondrous works of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And even us, man, you know, we finna see the Lord in action. And we can't wait. The Lord finna be in raw form. All kind of miracles gonna be happening. The Lord gonna be working through us. Anything that brothers do in the times that come, and it ain't of us. It's gonna be all the glory gonna go to our power, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, brothers take off flying. It ain't gonna be, oh, I just flew. See, I knew I. Nah, it's gonna be all Yahweh Shem, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All the honor and glory gonna go to Him. You know, because he gonna bring those powers upon us. He gonna bring, you know, that strength and that ability to endure these things upon us. You know, the ability to multiply food. You know, the ability to cloak ourselves or disappear, or get super strong, or you know, be able to walk on water. Whatever we able to do in the times that's to heal. You know, to push this word, to you know, go out week in, week out, you know, to stay locked into the spirit, day in, day out, even amongst the wicked, you know, and be around these wicked people, but we move in righteousness, man. We ain't doing what they doing, cause we are always around the wicked, but we disguised amongst them, you know. We around these motherfuckers in disguise. They don't even know that it's men of the Lord around them. They might think it's something different about you. Why this nigga ain't got no line up? You know? Why this nigga don't shave his beard, ain't got it trimmed up? You know? Why this nigga don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? You know? What's wrong with him? You know? We right up under these people, but they don't even understand it. Because why? Because the Lord had them blinded. But the time is short and the day is at hand where these people gonna know, oh shit, it's over with for us, and they gonna know, oh, these are the men of the Lord. You know, Is they gonna believe it? Maybe not. But guess what? They gonna see it. They gonna feel it. They gonna see the power. They ain't gonna have no choice but to declare the wondrous works of the Lord, cause we gonna be giving all the honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in all things, man. We do it now before the the power to make motherfuckers jaw drop come, cause we have power already. We have power in the sense that we do this work. We know the scriptures. That's power. That's the first form of the power. You know, but the Lord gonna show the other form of the power in the times to come. You know, this the book of Revelation, and this last precept, and I'm gonna close it out. Lord, wouldn't this was edifying. This the book of Revelation, chapter 22, and verse 12. It reads, "Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be." So the Lord is coming quickly, man. He's shortening the days. Why? For the elect's sake. And he coming to literally deliver us, man. you know, and his reward is with him to give every man according to his work. So, hey, that's why the Apostle Hard push. Hey, you need to be doing a video every day, you know, to the best of your ability, you know, going out week in and week out, pushing, doing the work, working the work while it's yet day, because the night come when no man can work. So we want to do all we can until that day come, you know, well, no man can work. Do all we can now to finish this work, get the job done, and then the time gonna come where we ain't gonna be able to teach. We ain't gonna be able to go. We want to put it all on the field now, so we can look back with no regrets. And if you slacking, which we all slack sometimes, even I'm speaking to myself first and foremost on that. If you slacking, figure out a way to get back in rhythm, because the your walk ain't gonna get easy. It's gonna get harder and harder. More tests gonna come upon you. So you can't look for an easier route out. You can't look for, no, it's gonna get harder. So you gotta fight harder. You know. But the Lord is coming with a reward. So hey, it ain't for nothing. It's for something. So work, grind. You know, do it like you got a million. Say so a motherfucker tell you, "Hey, I need you to do this for me," and it's something that you specialize in. You know how to do it. When we specialize in teaching the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we specialize in this doctrine. We know how to do it. We know what the Lord. We know what the Lord will is. We understand these scriptures. But say it's something on the corner level. I need you to change my tie. You know, motherfucker. Like it. Yeah, but on the corner level, say a motherfucker, hey, I need you to do such and such, and it's something you specialize in, and they tell you, I'm gonna pay you 10 times what it's worth to do it. You gonna bust your ass doing that job, and you gonna make sure everything right. You gonna make sure it's perfect to the best of your ability, and you gonna make sure it look good. You know, you gonna make sure it's what they want. You know, because the reward is so great. It ain't. I need you to change my tie. Usually I pay $100 to get it changed, but I'm gonna give you $1,000. I just jack it up real quick for me and change my tie. I need you to paint my house. You know, it ain't. It only take you a week. It's a $2,500 job. A $5,000 job, but I'm gonna pay you. Nah, I like you. I got the money. I got some extra money. I'm gonna tip you. I'm gonna pay you $20,000 to come paint. You gonna paint the fuck out that house. You gonna change the hell out that tie. You know. You drop motors. You take motors out of car. I'm gonna tip you. I'm gonna pay you such and such. You gonna change that motherfucker. You gonna make sure everything working. You gonna check, make sure ain't no leaks in the motor. You gonna do what you gotta do, because the reward is gonna be so great for doing that work. And that's the mindset we gotta carry here on out. You know, in the home stretch, doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because the reward that we finna receive is gonna be far above what we can think, man. So fuck it. We ain't got shit here. And you should have the mindset, we ain't come out this way to lose at the end. So we got to give diligence to make our call and election sure. So with that, Salakia, I let my screen go blank. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Hakodas, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, rule web, and the greatest example to his younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwame Yashala and above. Shalom.